Thank you so much, Denise, for meeting back up with me. Did you want to reintroduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, I'm Denise.
So I don't know if you remember the last time when I was telling you about my idea about the device that attaches underneath the steering wheel, and you had said that you would be interested in purchasing it if it was to be on the market, right?
Yes.
Okay, so kind of elaborating on that, but not necessarily with the product, but just you in general.
Okay.
This time is going to be more focused on your techniques when it comes to purchasing items.
All right.
So it doesn't have to be devices. It could be like phones, groceries, whatever. So the first question I have, since you said that you were interested in the product, is there anything that you look for when, or like an advertising or anything about a product that makes you want to buy it immediately if you see something specific about it?
You mean in general?
Mm-hmm.
Mm, if something's brand new, probably usually a coupon. Um, if I can try something and save money, that usually is pretty good incentive for me.
Okay.
Anything I can do usually saves money, and if I'm interested and want to try it, if I want to try it bad enough, I'll do it anyway. But if I can save money and feel like it's not that big of a risk,
What do you mean by risk?
where if it's gonna not be as good as I've at the hype or what I think it's gonna be, and so I won't lose too much money if it doesn't work out that great. So like a sale combined with a coupon, something like that, is usually what'll bring me and my family into trying something.
Okay. And in the opposite direction, is there anything when it comes to advertising or hearing about a product that makes you definitely go, I'm not going to buy this or look further into it?
Um, if it's too much kid, like little children packaging, like tied into movies, like characters, do you know what I mean? Like where everything's all focused on small children
Uh-huh.
and everything is all like tied into product packaging for like other things. Like, I don't know if I'm explaining myself well enough, but stuff like that, where it's not really so much about the product, much of it is about the basically more focused to bring in smaller people, younger people, where it's not really about the product. You know what I mean?
So like I guess if you're at Walmart and you just need a cup, but it's a cup that has Star Wars on it or something
Well,
like
yeah,
that,
like you know
or
how like the Pop Tarts, the cereal, like it'll be like Spider Man or X Men, and then it's tied into the movie, and then the 3D, and then on it it's got the tickets, and like it's not even about the product anymore. It's like tied
um,
into three different things, and by the time you've left the aisle, you don't even know what the heck you were looking at. As a
that's
shop,
really interesting.
as a shopper, it's just plain confused me, annoyed me, and I've moved on at that point because I figure it's for smaller people, and my children are like older, and I just find it annoying.
That I've never really thought about that. I guess I can see it, but I guess your money is still going towards the cereal. You know, it may not be going towards that movie or something like that, but I don't really know if that's true or not, so I can't say. But that's really interesting. Is there a certain process that you go through? Like, say something is brand new on the market or is about to be released, but people are talking about it. Is there a certain process you go through before purchasing something since you don't really have any way to go on, like another customer or consumer?
Unless it's like a best friend who's like totally revved up about it, then it would have to be something I totally need, or basically just sounds good to me. But a lot of times, if it's my best friend, will tell me I have to try something, and then of course, then I decide I need it, then
Okay.
I try it. But usually, that's the process for me. But usually, at the end of it, it's all about saving money or me coming up with something in cleaning or something that I decide I need, and how can I make my life easier in the house. For cleaning and saving
So,
time or less waste of product, that kind of stuff.
so say there's like a new phone. Like, let's pretend this isn't this year and this was right before the iPhones in general are about to come out.
Okay.
You, your process would be if it's something you need or if your best friend tells you to do so.
Well, for a huge purchase like that, that's more of like a family thing. So for that would be something where my husband and I would have to discuss it because that's more of a luxury item for us.
Okay.
So, I mean, I can't imagine that being that's hard because that's really more of like a I want, not an I need. Because the phone just is what it is. Everything on it is a luxury kind of thing. So my friend could show me that and I might want it, but until I really, really needed it, I would make do with what I had in that one.
So you've I feel like you need um support or like encouragement to get a product. You don't just go and get something for yourself because you said so. Does that make sense?
That's totally correct. I do feel like that. Now that could be because I'm a wife and a mom, but yeah, I do feel like that. And unless it's small purchases like clothing and food and stuff like that, but for bigger purchases like that, I totally feel like I need outside support. That's a good way to put it.
That's interesting. Do you maybe have like an incident that happened? That's why, or you just have you always been like that when it comes to purchases and such?
Yeah, I think so. Only because I feel like I don't always trust my first instincts. And then I feel like it's either got to be returned or it's not going to work out. And then if it goes haywire, then I only have myself to blame. This way, if I have more support and outside opinions, I feel like I've got backup. Whereas if we went in on this together and something goes wrong, we can return it together. Nobody's angry with anybody, and nobody can really blame anybody, kind of thing.
So switching gears slightly, do you feel like you're one to? It doesn't have to be a specific product, but in general, jump on a bandwagon because everybody else, well, not necessarily maybe people you know, but like it's on the news and the newspapers. It's maybe a new gadget, and everybody seems to love it. Are you one to like jump on the bandwagon too to see what the hype is about, or would you still follow that process you were just explaining?
On smaller things that are less expensive, where I don't feel like there's a lot of risk, I will. Like I did that with the selfie stick, and then I've used it like 2 or 3 times and felt like an idiot afterwards. Or half the time don't even understand how to use it and just say the heck with it. So I have like a $24.99 selfie stick that sits in my desk drawer. That's probably gonna sit there forever until it's handed to somebody else. So that would be one of those purchases, which, case in point, had I run that by somebody,
Mm-hmm.
I probably would have had some group support and people would have stopped me and said, you probably don't need that.
Oh my goodness. So would you classify, I mean, I don't really know you, but would you classify yourself as somebody, aside from wanting opinions and feedback before getting a product, someone who's kind of frugal then? Is that, does that play a factor in it?
Definitely.
So even for small purchases, are you like, okay, I don't need this or something like that?
Definitely, because our family's always on a tight budget, so we always have to put the needs before the wants.
Okay.
So budget always plays a part in it for us.
So if there's a want per se that you really want, or maybe you and your husband really want, or something like that, is there a certain price point where you go no way anymore? Like, are you kind of, do you limit yourself in that way too, or not really?
I guess it just depends on where that price point's at. I guess I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't think we've ever really thought about it like that on the whole. It's kind of like as the years go on, we just kind of see like phones for us. Like we were like with technology, we're slow. Like we were some of the last people years back to get digital cameras, and then we were some of the last people to get DVD players, and we were some of the last people to get cell phones. We're always kind of slow
Mm-hmm.
on the technology, and it wasn't because we purposely wanted to be behind everybody else. It was finances that kept us behind the curve. So basically time and the rest of the world kind of forced you to move on. So that kind of forced us to move into things that were luxury items for us, that seemed like luxuries, that for other people were kind of everyday.
Okay.
So those things kind of got built into those birthdays and Christmases that for us were what other people might have seen as like, well, didn't you already have those? But for us, we're the, hey, we're saving up for a, say, a new cell phone. And
Oh,
that would be the birthday present kind of thing, if that answers your question. I'm not sure.
sort of.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
Not, I guess when you're not really in a financial position to do that,
Mhm.
you don't really get to say, like, we're not really the kind of family where someone's going to pop up and go, I want this expensive item. Honey, can I go ahead and get it, kind of thing? Or can we save up to get it? Because she's just not in the position to do that.
Interesting. So in some of my other interviews, this will be my last question. A lot of people tend to talk about reviews or testimonials. Do those sway your opinion on an item?
Oh my God, yes. Yes.
So, like, does it need to be a certain? I mean, yeah, you're gonna have good reviews and bad reviews, or a majority of one of those options. But is it like a verbal thing, or when you see it online or something like that? Is there a certain kind of testimonial that sways you more than another?
For huge things, like for us, for appliances and stuff, like I will go through 20 to 30, and if the first 15 to 16 to 17 reviews on a refrigerator or stove or dishwasher, and everybody kind of has similar, like, negative things, I feel like they all can't be a coincidence, and that will tend to make me go, okay, this is not the dishwasher for me, moving on. And my husband and I will kind of go back and forth reading reviews simultaneously. We've done this for like most of the appliances before we go in, because of course, once again, we'll go, like, you're looking through and you're filtering through looking for the most inexpensive, but at the same time you can't always go with the cheapest, because the cheapest thing doesn't always last, and then that's not cost effective. So you're trying to save but get the best for your money. So we kind of inch up. Here can we get the most for our money? So that does play a part for us, looking over what people say as a whole.
It's interesting that you hadn't mentioned reviews or testimonials, considering the way you go about buying items, that you like to have backup and encouragement to do something. I thought along the way you would have said, oh, and to go along with that, or comments or reviews or something. So it was pretty interesting that you didn't think about that as you were
I guess I stopped
talking.
to think about it because when you first started asking me questions, I was thinking more of like grocery shopping, department store shopping, smaller purchases, those kind of things. I don't usually think about reviews, but when I think about every time our family has purchased um, anything electronics or appliance
Mm.
or phones or anything in that, computers, I mean, those are always like bigger, more expensive, scarier purchases, because you know in the long run they will become outdated, and there's always so much competition for brand, and everybody and their mother has 9 million opinions. So
Mm.
we will go online, and the customer reviews tend to, of course, weighing out through the people that will always have some horrible, weird experience. But then
Yeah,
kind of looking over, I mean, I kind of believe if you go through 30, 40 reviews, if you kind of can wade through several people have a similar experience, there's got to be something to that, and then kind of move on to the next. But yeah, those play a part for me anyway.
for sure. Thank you so much for meeting up with me again, Denise. I really appreciate your feedback and getting to pick your brain a little bit about what
I think
you
this
like
is
to buy.
getting kind of fun. So
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate it.
you're welcome.